Hi guys, welcome to the Counseling Psychologist on YouTube. I have a little tear in my eye. It's because it's windy. Alright, and it's not about the topic I'm about to speak about, because I'm going to talk about holding space for someone. Um, we're all going through a lot right now, you know. I try to choose the liveliest, kind of mildest lipstick to come on this live, and I change my environment. I usually just, like sit in the house and do it, but now I'm out in nature. I'm getting some fresh air, which is important for me to fill up my lungs and release some negativity. Just fill up with goodness and release until I'm at that state of equilibrium. Yes, so nature really does help. I'm under a willow tree. This is willow or pine? Very near cousins. Yeah, so it's very windy. So today I'm talking about holding space for people. I'd like to first thank those who have ever held space for me or are holding space for me. And what is holding space? Many of us, we might have joined a long line sometime, and then we realize that we need to get out of the line for one reason or the other. To get back to the car to get something, or we want to go to the restroom, or we want to take a phone call in private, or whatever the reason is. You had to temporarily leave the line. When you come back, you don't necessarily want to join the line back because you had a space there, right? So you ask someone to hold space for you. And then when you come back, you easily, regain your position in that line, and you just fit back into the whole, everyday situation, whatever it was, right? And so it is. Many of us have different issues. It could be grief, could be mental health challenges, which is grief is a part of it. Whatever it is, it could just be that we need a break from whatever it is that we're doing. It could be that you're working on some big decisions and you want to take the time to process things before making a decision, or it could be you are trying to clear your mind of some fog and you just need some time. But whatever the reason is, people often want us to hold space for them, and this is not the space that I just described, which is a physical space in a line, but to be there with them and to be there for them as they go through their situation. I definitely am actually going through some stuff because I've lost some persons close to me, and the whole pandemic situation, being away from my family in a foreign land, and a lot of stuff, but the tears are coming. I did not plan to have them, but they're just coming, so I just let them flow, and I'm gonna ask you to hold space for me as I just do this session. Yeah. So whatever the reason is, and people want to, have that time to process their own feelings, or just to be silent, just to be quiet, sit with their grief or whatever it is. So we hold space for each other, and we try not to be judgmental when we're holding space for people. We don't know the magnitude, even if you have gone through something similar, you don't know the magnitude of how that individual is experiencing, their situation. So it's never good to judge, but it's always good to empathize, just letting the person know that you feel for them, you're there for them if they want to talk, if there's anything you'd like to, they'd like to have you do. Or sometimes it's just sitting there with them, not saying anything or doing anything, just holding space. I remember one of my mentors, and she told me about a time when she was in the hospital, and she said, most persons came and they were mostly interrogative or whatever, but there was just this one individual who just came and sat for the whole time, and that was the person she appreciated the most. The person was just there, present. Of course, in case there's any need to communicate something, then you would, but you don't feel forced to. You don't feel like, there is this uncomfortable silence. It's a skill, I guess, to know how to take up that space without centering the space around yourself. You're mindful of your own emotions and your own feelings and thoughts, being non-judgmental, but at the same time, you are more concentrated on what or why you're doing what you're doing for the person that you are there for. And the primest example I can think of is what Jesus did with that woman that was caught in adultery. He just stooped down in the grass or the dirt, and he just, wrote with his finger. And he did not answer, or he didn't say anything, he just wrote. And then when she saw that the place got quiet now, and there was nobody else, accusing her, she spoke. No, she didn't speak. Jesus spoke and said, "Where are those that accuse you?" And she said, "No one, Lord." And he said, "Neither do I accuse you." Jesus, who is the great I am that I am. And as humans, we tend to, be, that if some of us had the keys, some of us had the keys to heaven, many people would never make it. We thank God that He holds the key, right? I am reminded of a student I once had, and it was a slow group of students, and because I wanted to motivate him to love books and to read, I made him the leader of the library corner. Because I thought that, would motivate him to just love to be in the space and try to investigate what was in the books. You know what that little boy did? He straightened up the corner very, very clean and neatly. And he told them, the other students in the class, none of you should come in here because when I can't read. And he's not processing to think that the way to read is to actually interact with the books. He tidied up the space, neat and tidy, all the books well cleaned up and orderly, and he put a stop order, a stop sign on entrance to the corner. So some of us, our human nature, we tend to lock people out, we tend to judge a lot, we tend to, think about our own selves, our own limitations. But Christ, in his infinite mercy and grace, he had all right to condemn. He did not when he had a chance, and he said, neither do I condemn thee, go and sin no more. Well, this one is not about the sin of woman or that incident with Jesus. It's about holding space. So Jesus really held the space for her until every confusion, every noise, every accusation, everything around her went quiet. And I promise you, if he was not there with her, she would have been dead, because he had really come to tears to her. Holding space. Who can I hold space for today? And again, I thank everybody who is holding space for me. You know yourselves. You know when I need a shoulder, when I need a hand, when I need a whole embrace. Sometimes I need a lift up, a jacket back. And I have those people, and I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful for each and every one of you in my life. And I am grateful to God and for those of you who allow me to hold that space in your life. And I invite all of us today to hold space for somebody. Have a blessed day.